Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diving. Welcome you to yet another 2nd and 10 football thing. This is not the semifinals of the 128 team tournament. This is a exhibition game between the 1970 Dallas Cowboys and the 1970 San Francisco 49ers. We're in a cloudy drizzle state at Candlestick Park, or is it Kessar? I think it's Kessar. Nevertheless, we have this match, and as you see, it's the John Brodie tribute game because this guy, John Brodie, passed away yesterday. He passed away so late in the day, Eastern Standard Time, I couldn't do the tribute match till today, the 24th. He played quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers for 17 years without playing for another team. He had a second career as a senior PGA golfer and was actually a TV broadcaster for both football and golf. He actually, at one time, led the NFL in passing yardage, completions, passing touchdowns, and lowest percentage passes intercepted. He actually won the MVP of the NFL in 1970. He was third in career passing yards when he retired in 1973. So he was born in Menlo Park, California, August 14, 1935. He would play at Stanford University, being a good quarterback in the vein of Frankie Albert, who was a pretty good quarterback in the 40s for Stanford, and then went to the San Francisco 49ers when they were part of the All-American Football Conference, AAFC for short. Other Stanford legends were after him were Jim Plunkett, Andrew Luck, and John Elway. He almost chose golf as his sporting career, but he decided to play football. And the 1957 NFL draft was crawling and all that. So anyway, there was a draft lottery, and Green Bay won the draft lottery and took Paul Hornung, the 1956 Heisman Trophy winner from Notre Dame. Although that Hornung, he was 2-8. The Rams took John Arnett, a running back from USC. I don't think he did that much. The Niners went next and took quarterback John Brodie from Stanford, so it was close. Stanford University is close to San Francisco. Why not? Ron Kramer, Jerry Tubbs, Len Dawson, Jim Brown, and Jim Parker also were in that 1957 draft. It's weird that Jim Brown, a good running back, could have went to the Rams instead of Cleveland. I mean, the first 6 picks were at least Pro Bowlers. Anyway, he saw limited time as a rookie in 1957. He would share time with Y.A. Tittle from 58 to 60. However, Tittle was traded to the Giants, who needed a quarterback, and it worked out. Y.A. Tittle was a good quarterback for the Giants in the 1960s, and he would be this. Brodie would be the starting quarterback until 1973. He led the league in 1965 in completions, passing yards, and passing touchdowns, getting to the Pro Bowl. Houston wanted Brodie and actually courted him. They wanted him for at least $800,000. So anyway, the Niners would have an improved contract offer. In 1970, he led the NFL with 24 touchdown passes. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's chump change." But remember, the passing game was not as big in the 1970s as it is in 2026. So anyway, he would win the MVP, and the Niners would win their first playoff game in franchise history. Because remember, in 1957, they were hosting the Detroit Lions in a playoff game. The winner got to host the NFL championship game, and they lost. Brodie was behind Johnny Yu and Fred Tarkenton for passing yards. He would finish 8th upon his retirement in touchdown passes. But the worst part was John Brodie for how good he was. As we look, MVP, Comeback Player of the Year, 1965, two-time Pro Bowler. His number 12 is retired. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Are you serious? He is in the College Football Hall of Fame, but yeah, I guess because he threw more picks and touchdowns, he's pretty much not there. Anyway, John Brodie could not get to the Hall of Fame, although the Niners returned as number 12. Trent Dilfer actually wore number 12, bringing out of retirement because he was a close personal friend of John Brodie and was hoping to get Brodie into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which has failed. After he retired from football, he would be an analyst for both football and golf for NBC. He was the #1 play-by-play color commentator in 77-78 alongside Kurt Gowdy, and actually is part of Super Bowl 13 in 1979 with Gowdy. Brodie would actually work the epic in Miami, the great game between the Chargers and Dolphins that saw the Chargers up 24-0 and nearly choke. It was him and Don Criqui, the play-by-play guy. I knew something was fishy when I'm thinking John Brodie was a color commentator for football. I was right. Brodie was the color commentator for the epic in Miami with Don Criqui. I knew I wasn't dreaming. Anyway, in his golf career, he was part of the senior PGA Tour from 85 to 98. He won one match. He actually got to the U.S. Open to golf in 1959 and 1981, but could not make the cut. He would have a major stroke in 2000. See all his stats for San Francisco, becoming a great quarterback and all that. He only was 74, 76, and 8 in his career and had more picks and touchdowns. So a lot of people said maybe he was for the better. In the playoffs, he was okay, but not much. Brodie would marry his daughter, Mary Sue, having 4 daughters and a son. And Erin, one of his daughters, actually was part of the reality series For Love or Money. Another daughter, Diane, was married to former NFL quarterback and key contributor to Atlanta's 1998 season, which they went 14-2 and went to the Super Bowl, Chris Chandler. Until 2022, his son-in-law was dermatologist and reality TV personality Will Kirby. He had to miss time because of tendonitis in his throwing arm and all that. He actually was introduced to a representative of the Church of Scientology, and he would actually try to endorse the Church of Scientology and all that. Unfortunately, it was actually ended when several of his friends were actually harassed in a power struggle with the hierarchy. But anyway, he died in Solana Beach at age 90. So yeah, he went to the College Football Hall of Fame in 1986. He won the Senior PGA Security Pacific Senior Classic over George Archer and Chichi Rodriguez, who I have in my golf thingy. All right, so now let's get to the game in hand. So it's the 1970 Cowboys and the 1970 49ers. Now, for this game, you will not see any Dallas possessions. All you're going to see are the Niners offensive possessions. The defense, it's just going to be simulated. So there. Here we go. Let's play. Gordon was from Dallas. He left his job back there. Too old to be quarterback of the Dallas quarterback. So, we'll show you the offense. Calvin Hill and Walt Madison for running backs. Both Bob Hayes next to the next quarterback. That's a line. Between Whiskey over 9 gave Manders the Niners. Pretty well news. Tommy Hart, Charlie Peter, Willie Lakes, Skip Vanderbilt, Jake Wilcox, Frank Dudley, directors Bruce Taylor, Mel Phillips, Rosie Taylor, and Jim Johnson. So we'll see in the session, which John Brodie and Ken Willard and Doug Cunningham for your running backs, Gene Washington, before he went to the Vikings, Dick Witcher and Bobby Windsor are your receiving backs. Taz Medicine, Randy Beisler, Forrest Blue, Dallas is the line. George Andrew, Bob Willie, Cole, Dave Evers, Chuck Howley, Leroy Jordan, linebackers, Albert, Charlie Wise, and Kurt Adderley,
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense.
It's actually the Niners pin number 15. For the quarter, we're at the 23.
First down.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. First down. First down. First down. First down.
Flag on the play.
Offense.
Oh, silence.
Flag on the play.
Illegal use of hands. Receiving team.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense. Timeout. Defense.
Silas. Stupid score. Brodie 8 for 15, 69 yards. Not so nice. In meantime, Morgan 6 for 19 with a 7-yard touchdown. Two drives into the punt. 16 possession recount. Everyone's available.
First down. First down.
Flag on the play.
Pass interference. Defense. First down. First down.
This is good.
First down.
Touchdown, 49ers. The extra point is good.
First down.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense.
Flag on the play.
Pass interference. Defense. First down. Timeout. Defense. First down. Timeout. Defense.
They turned the ball over 6 times. Well, turned the ball over more than 2 times. Brodie 21 for 36 for 88, but the three interceptions. 3 touchdowns. Thomas. Brodie 9 for 25, 156. That's cool. 46%, but he got 2 touchdowns. He's a decent record. So, yeah, Sanford did tie the game, but Dallas pretty late. Dallas beat San Francisco 17, definitely. That was possession team. Recap. So, yep, Dallas beat San Francisco, and John Brodie's ghost ends up a loser, but RIP nevertheless. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.